Now, as I mentioned before, we have this, this activity is sponsored by Corman Laboratories, and we are talking about radiant dermal fillers. So few words before we start the live injection, or I'm going to share with you the videos of live injections. So few words about the radiant family. The technology which is in the heart of Radiant product line, dynamic double cross linked optimization technology, DDCI or T, and it creates actually filler with very unique qualities and very high safety. The family contains both fillers and biorevitalizators, but currently, today we are going to speak only on dermal fillers of Radiant family. So what do we have in the family? First of all, the differentiation between different members, and we have Radiant Ultra, we have Radiant Derm, we have Radiant Soft, and Radiant Finesse. Differentiation is the concentration of hyaluronic acid, and in the range is between 12 milligrams per ml for Radiant Finesse to 26 milligrams per ml for Radiant Ultra. So Radiant Ultra is injected deeply, usually on bone. It has very high G prime lifting capacity. As I mentioned, the concentration is 26. I will do Ultra on the jawline, chin, cheekbones. Radiant Derm contains 23 milligrams HA per ml, and this is for correction of deep and severe facial wrinkles, but also for as a volumizer, but it's softer volumizer, so it can be injected on forehead, mid-face. This is the main indicator, and then we have Radiant Soft that I like very much to inject around the eyes, for example, or Radiant Derm also for the lips. It's my favorite. While Radiant Soft, as I mentioned, on the thinner skin in more sensitive areas, especially around the eyes. And Finesse is always it's very soft filler, so for very old skin, very thin skin, this should be your product. Now we'll go to see a little bit of okay. So this video is, so first of all, let's look at our patient. And she's relatively quiet lady, relatively young lady, sorry. She asked for lips augmentation, and she has this quite deep nasolabial wrinkles, which are quite unusual at her age, because nasolabial wrinkles appear usually around the age of 40, and we have a patient who is younger than 25, and we have deep nasolabials. We have to look for a reason, and usually the reason is that this area has a very high mimetic activity. So saying mimetic activity, we need to have a unique approach to fill up the nasolabial wrinkles. You see why we are stuck. Okay, this fast mode. I did it on intention, so but then we'll see shorter and more relaxed. Just a second. So I just spoke about the nasolabials. Nasolabials are considered as a very easy area, and they completely are not as easy as it seems. We need different injection techniques to correct nasolabials. So this is the threading technique, and this is what I do the first layer. But you see, it's not corrected. So I do the front technique in the lower part. Front technique is actually perpendicular injection, which is perpendicular to the wrinkle, very, very superficial, as you can see here. And I start from the wrinkle perpendicular to one side. And I'm always keep checking that the wrinkle become more resistant. As she smiles, the skin does not collapse. This is what I did before. I asked her to smile and to see whether the effect is sufficient. And if it's not sufficient, I keep doing the same very small amounts. Look at my plunger, it hardly moves. And it's almost intradermal injection. It's a little bit deeper, it's immediately subdermal. Then I do check the upper part is threading. And again, the same front technique, perpendicular to the wrinkle. Very superficial injection. It's just actually, it hardens the dermis and immediate subdermal plane. So when the patient smiles, it does not collapse the soft tissue anymore. And this is what explains deep nasolabials at this relatively young patient. I do keep doing a little bit lower, as you can see, even to marionette area, because when she smiles, you have very deep, very significant deepening of the wrinkles. So this is the patient, and you see her before and after correction of nasolabials, and you can see the effect of using the technique. You can see the lips, we'll see the lips a little bit more in details later, but you see lower and upper lip before and after. So what this patient teaches us that even nasolabials, which are considered to be an area for beginners, can be sometimes very challenging. And as you saw, I did all the correction using a needle, sharp needle, and not the cannula, because the possibility to correct this such a deep nasolabial with cannula is zero. So safety is important, but as you know, the nasolabial artery in the upper part of facial artery in the upper part of nasolabial is deep. So as long as I am very, very superficial, there are almost no chance to inject facial artery.